My name is Mike Pierce. I'm the Vice President of Herman Miller for Europe, Middle East and Africa. So delighted to see you here. Thank you for coming. Just by way of introduction, I want to make sure that we recognise our host here, who's Nigel Simons, if you can put your hand up. So anything that's around this facility that you want more detail on, Nigel and his team will be very willing to help and tell you more about some of the Herman Miller options and settings we've got here. Okay. Workstation and Herman Miller have been partners for 10 years now, I think, Nigel, isn't it? 13, thank you. Thank you. But it's been a very strong relationship, and we value Nigel and his team and the work they do. They do extremely good professional work, working through typically the design community, which is great for us because that's our story. And so we're very pleased to be here as hosts and share this with our hosts, Nigel and his team. Okay, well, this is going to be hopefully a very stimulating and interesting discussion for you all to hear and perhaps hopefully participate in later on. We have two very distinguished guests here. Kim Collins, she is of the industrial facility in London, and Herman Miller are working very closely with Kim and her team at the moment. And she's from Los Angeles and studied both art and history before receiving a master's in architecture. In 1997, moved to London and taught architectural design at the Royal College of Art. And Kim and Sam Hecht started the industrial facility in 2002 to explore, in quotes, the junction between industrial design and the world around us. So we're very interested to hear how design and the workplace, industrial design and the workplace marry together in forming the workplace that we can hopefully look at in the future that will improve the way people work. So industrial facility is designed things from kitchen appliances, electronics, interior furnishings, and it's a really, really broad palette of great industrial design products. So she's edited several books, some of which hopefully you've read, which is Things That Go Unseen, I should say, and Usefulness of Small Things. And I'm ashamed to say I haven't read either of those, but I will.
Get you a copy.
Thank you. All right, Professor Jeremy Myerson, welcome. Jeremy is an author, academic, and activist in design and innovation. Director of Helen Hamlin Centre for Design at the Royal College of Art, and chairs the management board of the Innovation RCA Network for Business. So very distinguished background. The key themes of his work are the innovative workplace design and designing for the aging society. So that's clearly a big issue today. And I'm sorry. And
enlightened self-interest.
Has consulted widely with the industry and the government bodies on the subject of the aging workforce, particularly. So, key themes of Jeremy's work is really about innovative workplace design. A former journalist and editor, and of course founded Design Week magazine in 1986. So many books: The 21st Century Office, Creative Office, and New Demographics, New Workspace. So, and also, last but not least, sits on the advisory boards of the design schools in Korea and Hong Kong, and has arts degrees from the Royal College of Art and the University of Hull. So those are the two bios. I couldn't memorize all of that, there's so much to talk about, but anyway, I think this is going to be really an interesting meeting of minds on the future of the workplace and how design can marry that together. So I'm going to hand over to my beautiful assistant, Oliver, who's going to compare and sort of facilitate some of the questions and hopefully take some questions from the floor as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. We're also going to be doing kind of a booth video event as well, using Design the Future, so please use the hashtag as well when you're talking about this on Twitter. It's a little bit of a retro theme, and the irony is not lost on us, as we're going to be talking about the future in the booth later on, but less about that and more about these two wonderful speakers. So firstly, Kim, if you'd like to kick things off with your short introduction, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say just a little bit more about the kind of work that we do as a design office. We formed as Mike said, in 2002, to really bring my background, which is architecture, together with industrial design, which is Sam's background. And we're both already cross-disciplinary thinkers. But the reason we felt we had a point even to make an office in this crazy competitive field is because industrial design traditionally looks at objects like they're floating in space on a white background and they're rendering and they can rotate and see them around and they're completely contextless. Whereas architecture, you could never have a building unless it's sitting in a road, in a city, you know, in the world, basically. So Sam already thought this way, and I was always also interested in the details of industrial design. So our minds naturally fit together with interest. And we formed a kind of space for ourselves as designers because we felt at the time no one else was really doing that. More people are doing it now. I think more students are very inspired by that. And I think one of the reasons people hire us is because we differentiate ourselves from a consultancy. We're completely non-democratic and we have an opinion. So companies rely on us to tell them the truth. And this can, you know, this can slap you in the back or in the face sometimes, but usually I think our clients really want the truth. And very often they've hired us, I mean, people from strange industries like medical devices or technology devices, which usually they hire specific kinds of industrial designers who specialize in that. They come to us because they know we have clients in many different fields and because they know we'll tell them not just what they want to hear about how they see the world through their rose-colored glasses, but actually that it's a big world and there's a lot that they're actually not thinking about. So I'll just give a brief example about that. A client came to us for a technology device, which was one of the early at-home color printers. It was Epson, actually. And Epson said, we designed a plug-and-play. This is many years ago when there wasn't one. They're rife now. But it was a kind of like portable printer that you could plug in with many different ways. You could plug in your camera card, et cetera. Like I said, they're common now. At the time, Epson said, this is great. For the Japanese market, we're going to make it in white. We'll keep it as clean as your clean lines are. That's fantastic. But for the American market, we're going to spray it silver, and we're going to make the buttons bigger because they've got bigger thumbs over there. So we just said, you know, you're mad. You're absolutely mad. The product is the product. The thumbs are the thumbs. The people are the people. We're all living the same way. We all, deep down, what this product answers, we all want the same thing from it. And we fought and we fought. And that one we didn't win. So we're winning more now. That one we didn't win. And it really was a sad moment to visit that product in the shelves of the American, I forget what they're called, the electronic shops, because it just looked like every other sprayed silver product. It could have been a white, beautiful thing that stuck out. They missed the opportunity. But I think since then, that was in the early days, and I think time has gone on. And I'll talk more about this later, about telling the truth about things, because sometimes we're given very constructed, researched, well-researched briefs from a company's point of view. They've spent a lot of time and a lot of thought on. And we absolutely consider that. We read it, we listen, we visit factories. We're very, very hands-on, very involved in the whole part of the product and the process. And then we go away and we take a stand. And we take a lot of risk by taking that stand because we don't give 50 options. What would you like best? Do you like a little bit? Would you like some of this over here and some of that from over there? We're very, very, I want to say fascist, actually, but we're not. And I mean that in the best way, in that I think the best way to say it is that we have a point of view, and I think that's what makes our office unique.